Welcome back, 90s lovers, for another episode of Fill of the 90s, where you get your fill of the 90s. I'm going to keep saying that channel name because I made it up and I like it. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about all the spooky 90s movies that are going to be on Netflix this month. Because it's perfect month, Halloween's coming up, so scary movies. Good idea. First movie on our Netflix Halloween tour is going to be Blade. Came out in 1998. Has a 54% on Rotten Tomatoes, even though fans gave it a 78, because we all know critics be hating. It's true. They hate it. Why do they watch movies if they hate them so much? I do not know. Anyway, movie features Wesley Snipes as Marvel hero Blade as he fights vampires. Pretty exciting movie. Not the best in the series, but definitely worth a watch. Next one's going to be Devil's Advocate. It features Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is a lawyer who goes to work for the devil. We all know what it's like working for the devil. Any boss anywhere is the devil. So there's that. Movie has pretty decent reviews. 60, my eyes are blinded, but it's going to be a 66% on Rotten Tomatoes, if that matters to you. Doesn't really to me, but I thought you might like to hear that. Next movie on the list is going to be The Shining. Came out in 1980. Phil, that movie did not come out in the 90s. Yeah, I know that. But people in the 90s watched it because it was a great horror movie. It has an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was based on the Stephen King novel of the same name, The Shining. It takes place in a haunted hotel being taken care of by an author, and a whole lot of antics happen. His son has a talking finger. It's a pretty good movie. Highly recommend it. The next movie, featuring my favorite bald actor, Bruce Willis, going to be The Sixth Sense, where he is a psychiatrist. Someone talks to people about their feelings and problems for a child. So he's going to be a child psychologist, I believe, where this kid sees dead people all the time, which I feel like wouldn't be the coolest. But then in the end, which you probably already know, the ending, I won't ruin it. Spoil. The next one's Interview with a Vampire. Came out in 1994. Pretty decent reviews. Not bad. Featuring great cast. Christian Slater as a reporter who goes and meets with the vampires, who are Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. You know, pretty interesting vampire choices. No Edward Cullen, if you know what I'm saying. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. Next movie is going to be Scream number 2. Netflix couldn't spring for Scream number 1. That was a lot of S's, very hard to say for me. Anyway, Scream number 2 is the better of the Scream movies. It's going to feature another masked killer and a great all-star cast. Movie has the best reviews of the Scream movies at 81% on Rotten Tomatoes. Great movie to watch, and it's a funny one too. Next movie is going to be family friendly, but no one's going to want to watch it. Littlest Monsters, or Little Monsters? Little Monsters. I watched it a long time ago. Fred Savage and Howie Mandel is a blue monster. Sounds about as good as it was. Watch it with your kids, I guess. Or don't at all. It's your choice. Here's another movie from the 80s, but late 80s, that was popular into the 90s and now. The Lost Boys, featuring Kiefer Sutherland. That's a really hard name for me to say. Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, and again, vampires. Family moves to the small town where there's a group of vampires. They give them issues. A little back and forth between the vampires. Great movie. Highly recommended by everybody. Next movie isn't really a scary movie, but it's going to be a suspenseful thriller. 7, featuring Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt, where they hunt down a psychotic serial killer. Don't know why you have to say psychotic. Most serial killers fit the bill. Anyway, he uses these creepy tactics called the 7 Deadly Sins. Maybe you've read about them in the good book. To kill the people. So, great movie again. Super suspenseful. It is creepy, but not in the same way like a horror movie with monsters would be. Still check it out. Fantastic movie. Lastly, we got the movie Hellraiser, which features Pinhead, which is like one of the creepiest monsters ever. freaks me out in every haunted house he's featured in, which is most. Anyway, this came from Canada, and it was the first film by writer Clive Baker. Fantastic movie. So this guy goes into a sex shop and buys a Chinese box that goes to like a portal to hell. So, you know, really creative premise there. I'm gonna have to go return that box I bought. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Did I miss a movie that's on Netflix? Is there something better? What do you think of the movies I gave you? I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. Just answer them down below in the comment section. And again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This is the first video I've made for this channel, and it's going to be awkward for a little bit. I'm awkward all the time, so get used to it. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you stick around. Fill of the 90s. Get your fill of the 90s. I'm just going to keep saying fill of the 90s. Fill of the 90s. Fill of the 90s. Subscribe.